Hi, I'm Maddie Lee, and I'm a part of Read 3356, Section 820 for the summer. And for my final presentation, I was assigned to discuss a strategy for after reading or post reading for social studies students. And so the strategy that I found would be most beneficial through our social studies students in any different grade level, really up into 5th or 6th grade, would be the idea of framed paragraphs. So the framed paragraphs strategy that I found came from Edwin Ellis off of readingrockets.com. I will insert the link below. And he discussed how basically a framed paragraph should be used is to frame those main ideas and essential details to promote comprehension for your students. For the first step, you're going to want to decide the book or the article or practice star passage you're going to have your students read. And then you're going to want to decide, do I want them to write a paragraph that's comparing and contrasting two things? Am I going to want them to write a paragraph about what they learned and what they're taking away? Or are you going to want them to write a summary paragraph about what the article or passage means to them? After you decide what article and how you're going to use that article for your classroom, you're going to go into the class for that day in that lesson and you're going to explain what a framed paragraph is. So you're going to want to use a way that is more simplified than the definition I previously gave, and I think the best way to describe it would just be, I'm going to give y'all an outline of words and sentence structures that I'm going to want you to use. And that goes back to when I discussed, are you going to use this as a compare and contrast, a summary, or a what did they learn and what they took away. So I will go through more examples later on in the video, but for right now, say you're doing a summary paragraph. You're going to want your students to process something they read and then be able to explain it in a simplified way. And so you're going to want to provide a lead-in for a topic sentence, 3 to 5 supporting details, and a summary sentence at the very end that closes the paragraph together. And throughout all of that and throughout any example I give, you're going to want to make sure you're providing them with those transitional words and phrases. So after you discuss it and after you discuss how you're going to use it for your class, you're going to pass out a blank template. Then you're going to read or have them independently read an article or a passage. After that, you're going to go through the outline with them, and this is a time that you can do guided instruction or you can have them do it independently. And so why is it important? What are the strengths of a framed paragraph? And it's simply that it provides and encourages students to use different sentence structures, so whether this is compound or complex sentences, and different transitional or lead-in phrases or words. So a good example for a paragraph frame for students that you're going to want them to talk about what they learned or took away is you might have them read a autobiography or just a biography over maybe a past president or somebody important in history. So say we are reading a biography over George Washington. So the article, say it discusses where he was born, what he did, his purpose he served throughout his lifetime, and then you're going to want to have the students insert things that they took away from that article. So you might provide a framed paragraph that looks like this. I learned a lot about George Washington. I learned that he was the very first president of the United States. I also learned that without him, the United States may look a lot different than it does today. The most interesting thing I learned was, and have them fill it in. Thank you for taking time to hear about the reading strategy that I found was most important for post-reading or after reading for social studies students.